there is going to be so much uncertainty on players, on fans.
When Liverpool are emotional, that's when we are at our best.
Personality and charisma is what makes Liverpool who we are, right?
Yeah.
He has given us every single thing we could have dreamed of.
Virgil van Dijk, he says he doesn't know if he's leaving.
Because Jurgen Klopp's leaving doesn't make your team any better, just so you know that. That's not how it works, lads. Liverpool might get a little bit worse, but you won't get any better, son.
No, you can't do that here. We can't get beat 4-0 at Man United and then we talk about, well, I stuck to my principles.
There's
Crap.
a smoother transition, footballing-wise, between the style that we play now and if De Zerbi came in than what there would be what we play now and if Xabi Alonso came in.
People like Arteta and De Zerbi, they throw their weight around like they've done something in this game.
Yes, it's ludicrous to say someone with 65 games, we're going to put him in charge of the mighty Liverpool.
He's not good enough to be Liverpool manager.
I'm getting goosebumps now just thinking about that moment.
It is.
And
No,
it's better
but-
the devil
but
you know.
see-
We love
but
him
see-
already.
but-
He has always done what he wasn't supposed to do. Always.
There's a lot of people I can't say they watch the team lift every single trophy.
So that just takes away everything you've just said.
He's a pound for pound best manager ever, in my opinion.
Hi guys, welcome back to DR Sports for an emergency meeting that I've called with the Liverpool fans most dearest to my heart. As you know, unless you've been living under a rock, Jurgen Klopp has decided to leave Liverpool at the end of the season. Now, listen, when you're in a time of pain, a time of distress in your life, you call on your friends and you go and check in and make sure they're okay. So today, that's exactly what I've done. Joining me, James Redmond.
Hiya, mate.
Good to see you on DR Sports, mate.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate
It would have been nicer for it to be a better circumstance, but we're kind of all in black today, so that kind of just tells you.
Sets the tone.
very true.
Sets the
We
tone
need to
nicely.
know.
No, we appreciate you having me here. Thank
Come
you
on,
for
bro.
getting us on
As
the
always,
show.
I needed to vent with you here.
Top man.
We've also got Drifty from Coppish.
Starting lad.
Big up,
He's
boys.
right,
Big
Drift.
up. Big up, big up. I hate
He's
that
right,
it's
lads.
on these terms, especially I haven't seen James for so long. Why do it have to be like this?
I know, lads.
It's like when you're at a funeral and you're like,
Yeah.
why do we only meet for these occasions?
Yeah.
That's what this feels like.
Nah,
Yeah.
facts, bro.
Anyway, we've also got Doyle, Freestyle DM. On
Yes, lad.
The emergency LFC roundtable talk. Good to have you on, boys. Remember, guys, if you are a Liverpool fan, do us a favour. Smash that like button, comment with your thoughts. You can vent. This is a safe space today. This is a place where we've all come together and we're going to remember the good times, but also look ahead to the future to see where things are going to go for Liverpool. And if you haven't subscribed, do that already. Go over and subscribe to DR Sports, obviously the Cop TV and Coppish as well, and James Redmond. Boys, first question is, where were you when you heard the news? What was your immediate reaction? We'll start with you, Joe.
Yeah, lad, so I just got off a night shift. I woke up at 7 in the morning, and so from the job, I woke up at 7 in the morning, because I was like cheekily had a kip for like an hour. Probably shouldn't have said that on the show with me work probably watching, you know what I mean, but we swift past that, and then got home, got me proper sleep in there. And then when I woke up again, lads, I just saw the news at like 1 p.m. Must have been out for a couple of hours at this point. And when you do one of those, like a little, like where you double check, I checked again and again and again. Every single source I could. It took about 4 news outlets until I realised like he's actually going to go. And from there, I was just thinking like, it's how do you process that type of news instantly? Do you know what I mean? But I was just in mine, relaxing until I wait no more. And then fast forward to now.
Boys, do you remember the moment?
So I do this thing once or twice a week where I don't switch my phone on when I wake up. I don't switch my internet on. And I just, take a break from social media and the world. I grew up in a world where we didn't have this stuff, so I like to stay grounded a little bit. So I got up, did my routine, did what I was doing, did some stuff in the morning, planned out the day, had my lunch. Thought it's 12:30. Let me switch my phone back on now. Like
That's a nice
I was like, what the? You know what I mean?
That's
Like
a nightmare.
20 people have tried to call me, all the messages, all the notifications
Yeah.
from LFC TV, all these things just littering my. I was like, what the hell? I just went straight into the friends group because that's the first one, and I went into
That's
like,
the real news source.
with the boys. Klopp's leaving. I said, what? Now remember, at this point, I don't know it will be at the end. I'm thinking now. You know that feeling you get when you go warm, when you get a phone call from someone close to you, and like
Dread.
the tone of their voice
Dread.
is like something's wrong here. Like it was that warm, weird feeling.
Yeah.
It was, oh man. And the thing is, Callum was live at the time.
Yeah.
So I messaged him. I was like, bro, I'm jumping in now. Like I'm jumping it, but he was literally wrapping up.
Yeah.
So we had an offline conversation for about an hour and a half maybe, and like we couldn't believe like what is this? Yeah. It's crazy. So yeah, I was oblivious to it. going about my morning schedule, just
It's mad
eating
'cause you were
breakfast
actually
and lunch
awake.
like nothing was happening.
Because you were actually awake during
Yeah.
the morning as well, which is what's mad. Like, you're just going around doing your tea and your biscuits, you're having a belter, and next thing you know, you turn your phone on.
Yeah.
Everything's just turned upside down instantly. Because, like, it was like that with me. It was just like, I woke up and I saw it. I didn't do what you did. I weren't, like, routines enough.
It felt like I'd just woken up, though. Do
There
you know
we
what I
go.
mean? Like you
There
said,
we
it's
go.
probably... What?
I think I'm just going.
Ah,
Doyle?
I was on a toilet. As you do when you go to the toilet, you have a
Shit news.
yeah, very crap
Literally.
news to have on the toilet, literally. I was on the toilet, lad, check my phone, obviously, as you do. And I seen all, similar to the Drifty, I was just doing my morning, lad. Seeing all the notifications coming through, and I genuinely thought, this is a joke. I looked at the date to check, it was April 1st, it wasn't, lad. Started
That's what I
thinking,
thought as
is this AI or something? Is this some like kind of mad prank that's happening right now? Because this can't be real, because I had this isn't real. We're top of the league, how can this be happening right now? And I was in denial, and I still am, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Still, I'm in this stage where I'm like, nah, he's just going to say he's coming back at the end of the season, or he's going to get Pep Linders to do something, or I don't know. I still haven't accepted that he's leaving, so it's going to take a while for me to do it. 'Cause
First
it's like
stage
your
of
dad.
grief.
Literally, I went into the studio, but into the office before, and I was like, feels like my dad's leaving to Robbie, and he's like, you're dead? And he was like, oh, Klopp. And I was like, yeah.
Well, listen, it's obviously something that we're all going to have to digest, and I think it's going to be even harder knowing where the end point is, because it all builds up to that moment. Every game is going to be difficult. But what do you think the reaction will be like from the players, especially because obviously a big bombshell for them to hear, especially you think of Joe Gomez, who's only ever had or known Klopp. You think of Trent, obviously the captain, Virgil, they would have been super surprised. But tell me how the players are going to react, and then tell me how the fans are going to react to this as time goes on, because we now know he will have his last game for us in May/June if we're lucky, boys.
Yeah, so like I was just thinking about the Virgil van Dijk news earlier, and I was thinking about how he came out, he made the statement of he doesn't know if he's going to be here next season, which instantly you go, well, that's not the answer that I want, because I want a yes, you are my captain, and I've just heard that our father is basically leaving the football club. What are you doing? It's like your uncle. Do you know what I mean? You're thinking, where are you going now? Why are you dusting? But I think between now and the day that it officially comes, when Klopp has his last game, there is going to be so much uncertainty on players, on fans, because everything matters. You know, Virgil van Dijk, he says he doesn't know if he's leaving. Of course he doesn't know. If we get Xabi Alonso and it works, he's probably not going to leave. If you go and get Roy Hodgson, now that's a different story. You're thinking, well,
he's getting off.
There's a different... I'm not going to want to stay under those circumstances. I will, because I'm a fan. I've got to kind of sign up for it, but I just think we've got to wait until whatever that next step is before we worry about what players are going to go or what players are going to stay. It's just going to be so much uncertainty. The most important thing is to maximise every single opportunity. Klopp even knows it now. We're going to sing his song. We're going to sing it 50 seconds into the game, 50 minutes into the game, same with the 90 minutes. Let's embrace it. Let's celebrate him every opportunity that we possibly get, no matter how much he shouts at us, basically.
Yeah. It's a good shout. And I think you're right. You know, you can't really... Obviously, they're going to get asked the question, the Liverpool players. But I feel like, well, if your brain and your mindset is elsewhere now, just because you've heard this, then... is it the best thing for that person?
Think about Alisson, think about Robbo, Trent, everyone. Think about if you're them, you've basically, especially Trent, he's had his whole career with Jurgen Klopp.
It's not even, it's questions like, Trent's in an inverted role right now as right back, right? We don't know if this next manager's going to come in and play him in that same role. He might say, lad, you're getting in midfield, or he might say, lad, you're sticking to right back. So it's questions like tactical questions like that we've got to ask, especially with Pep Linders leaving. But I think, if anything, lad, this should, if it were me, and it was you, we all love this club, right? Give you a little bit of an incentive to want to do it. And we were talking about it in the office before. When Liverpool are emotional, that's when we are at our best. When people rile us up. You've seen it in a 2-2 against Arsenal last season. Yeah, we were getting beat 2-0. Someone had a word with our Trent Xhaka, and then we went mad. And that's when we get at our best. So I just feel like, if anything, it's a wonderful way to sign off for Klopp, and I think the players will be seeing it as well. They're all very experienced, a lot of these. Virgil van Dijk, Trent, Robbo, they've dealt with pressure. They've won it all already, lads. So this is going to be their final push in the era of Klopp, not just for him, but for them as well, lad. They want this just as much as they want to do it for Klopp for themselves as well, lad. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're ready for it.
Does it motivate them more than it takes away from them for the remainder of this season?
The way our team's set up and the way Jurgen Klopp's got them to be emotionally capable, regulated people, lad. Yes, they know how to regulate their emotions, lad, and they know what to push it into a game. Believe me, these lads are going to fight extra hard, tooth and nail for this lad, for our captain, lad, our father, whatever you want to call him, lad, our messiah. they'll be doing it, lad, and I'm pretty sure that we'll get some trophies this season now, lad. I am.
Drift, when you're in that changing room, you're part of the team as everyone is. What would your reaction be if Klopp was to say, listen, at the end of the season, I'm off? How would you react if you were a player? Because we can all idolise him as fans, which we do. We can sing his song. But for the players, it's got to be now even more pressure on them.
Yeah. See, the crazy thing is, I don't think it's going to bother us now. I think it's going to be April, May when it might become a bit of an issue. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can only speak from personal experience. I'm the type of person who's like watching a TV series and I'm just loving it. I'm indulged. Oh my days, how many seasons have I got left? This is amazing. You know, you get to like season 8 and you realise it's the last season. You start slowing down. You start watching 1 episode a week now instead of 5 a day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Taking it in.
Yeah, no binging anymore.
Rewinding and that, lad.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, normally I would watch it. No, let me save it. Because you know, once you finish it, there's no more, I've got a new episode.
It's just reruns.
Yeah,
after
just
that.
reruns. And you already know what's happened then. And I think as a player, I'd probably be a little bit similar. Yeah. So right now, I think it would just go time. All right, let's do this. But when it gets to like April, May, and hopefully we're in the point where we might actually start winning stuff, and we know Klopp's only got 4 games left. He's only got 3 games left. That will be when we'll really have to control.
We'll all have to be there for each other when
as
that happens.
fans, and yeah,
always.
But you know, even just to summarise, I'll ask you, just to summarise this sort of topic, do you think that as well yourself, do you think, does the result now improve at the end of the season? Because it's not determined yet, but what we end up achieving, will it be better than what we would have achieved now that we know this news?
It's a difficult question to answer. I feel like maybe a month ago before this news, you would have said, well, we're in all the competitions, let's go and try and win them all. Now we know this. It's like we daren't lose one single
We
It
must
increases
win.
the
We
agency.
must win.
I genuinely feel sorry for any team that's got to play against us from here on in, because
Especially at Anfield.
I mean, I've said that
Especially
we
at
are playing
Anfield.
Chelsea and Arsenal this week, so we are saying that before these games, just so we know. But I agree with them. I
we'll
do.
post the results.
yeah, we got to be careful to not do the over emotional thing.
That's the other
We have
coin
to.
side, isn't it?
I think that's our job. That's not the players' jobs, right? We have to support them. We're the ones that are allowed to be emotional. Like, I get stressed just watching this game, so I can't imagine what they feel. But these professionals, and Jurgen Klopp has led them to be, like I said before, mentally regulated, emotionally regulated, and physically regulated. Like, these are proper competitors, lad, and the champions. And I don't think they feel the same way that we do. They don't feel the pressures the way we feel the pressures, because we're not trained to deal with them, lad. These lads are, and I do think they've got the capability to get over the line. It's just get over these 2 games this week. Yeah.
What if like opposition players start doing that shithousery?
They will.
Like,
They're gonna.
They do it anyway.
Klopp's
Yeah.
leaving. You
They
know?
do.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, you're getting the 2 foot. If it's
Yeah.
If it's, you know what I mean? If it's me and you're winding me up all game, but we can't
I
be
think
doing
that's
them
when you
things,
set
do you know
your
what I mean?
your soldiers onto them. You know
There
what I mean?
you
It's
go.
like, Virgil, be a
Just
shit
volley
man.
him everywhere, lad. Volley him
Bravo,
everywhere for us, lad.
Embrace your Scottish.
Yeah.
Start kicking the shit out of these fools. You know
I was
what
just
mean?
going to say, I think this is one of the reasons why I'm actually really confident as well, because we actually have Scousers in the team now.
Yeah.
And we have 3 of them. It's not just one, we have 3 of them. And I know Konza isn't exactly a seasoned pro, but he knows this. He knows what this is. And he you know, he's a man in a young man's body.
20
innit? Do you
today,
know what I
I
mean? Look
think.
how mature he is. Especially Jones and Trent though. Those 2 are leaders within the team already. I said Jones is future Liverpool captain about 2 years ago, and I got laughed at. And a couple of people said Trent. I didn't quite see the Trent one because he didn't seem, but he's embraced
Yeah,
it.
He leads on the pitch,
And
like that
I
kid
still
does.
believe Jones is more of a captain
Vice.
than Trent.
I
I truly do. You lot remember what it was like in the under-23s. He was a sensational captain in the under-23s. So having them 2 there, both being integral in the team, I think it helps, because if anybody starts slacking, they will be like, do you really know what this
Yeah,
means?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you actually know what this means? No, let me school you on what this means. I don't think anyone in the team's like that anyway, but just in case, we have those 3 to just pull everyone to one side and be like, yo,
This means
understand-
more.
I-
Hoping
I
Curtis
understand
Jones
what
can be
this
that
means.
Jamie Carragher type.
Yeah.
Like what Carragher was to Gerrard is hopefully what Jones can be to Trent.
Exactly,
yeah,
lads.
100%.
Yeah.
Listen, before we talk about, you know, our favourite Klopp memories, you know.
Oh,
No, come on.
Don't
You
wanna
get
get
there
no, I
together.
don't wanna
Get there
get-
together.
Just depression, lad.
No, honestly. Before we get on to that and who is, you know, the best person to replace him, rival fans. I mean,
Fuck
the
'em.
first person that called me was Flex.
Coyotes,
And
lad.
after about 30 seconds, when he heard my tone and my kind of instant impact to the news, because remember, he was at Sky, right, and he's in a newsroom where this news has just blown up.
Yeah.
And he's calling me, And I'm reacting to it on the phone, but then the tone was very much like, no, what? And then he was like, okay, let me not go too hard. 'Cause even Robbie was worried for my my mental health the other day. But rival fans have obviously blown up our phones, giving it the banter. Obviously, they're jealous that he was, never manager of their club. And I would say if and when he does leave at the end of the season, hopefully, touch wood, he'll be leaving the team in the incline, which I think, again, because people have given Liverpool props for the rebuild this season, rival fans kind of know that he's leaving and he's going to leave it in the best way possible. He's not going to do a...
Fergie or a Wenger.
They're just buzzing that they're not going to get 4-0 slappings. No
well,
more,
that's
lads.
what it is. That's
all
it.
of them.
And also,
they're happy because they're not going to get battered anymore.
Lads,
in my
just because Jurgen Klopp's leaving doesn't make your team any better. Just so you know that. That's not how it works.
Nah, 'cause they've still
Liverpool
got the
might
gap
get a
with
little
City.
bit worse, but you won't get any better, son. Go away.
It's because they've got
No way.
it's because they've got the gap with City, so it's like it's one of those where you've still got to fill that gap with them, regardless if we're competing or not. Because without us, there was no league title races, not one.
None.
We were the ones who made the Premier League as box office as it's been over the past couple of years, and not just in the Premier League, but also in cup competitions. We've kept that excitement for the English.
3
football.
Champions League finals, lad. 3
The
of
way
them.
you look
And
at
a Europa
English
League
teams,
final.
the way you look at English teams' tradition in the Champions League in recent time is a big part down to us, because we're the ones who are getting at the end of all these competitions. But these teams, everyone, even Pep said he was
Going to
kind
sleep
of
better.
relieved.
Yeah, he's going to sleep better, lad,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Jurgen's gone.
So, besides City, who really have the most to say, well, we absorbed kind of what Klopp had for us, no one else can say that. Arsenal can't because they got slapped. United can't because they got slapped numerous
Newcastle.
times.
None of them.
All these teams in the top side. Chelsea lost 3 finals to Jurgen Klopp. The point is that Jurgen has had the number over every other team, and the only team we've had to chase is City. So every team is going to be happy about this. Like, they can sit there and comfort themselves with, you've only got 1 Prem, but it's still much more success. It's points taken off you guys. It's what stopped you guys from getting into the top 4. It's what stopped you guys from staying in cup competitions. They're now relieved because there might be an extra FA Cup for them there. If we drop off the way that everyone thinks we're going.
Even Champions League.
There we go.
This 5th spot being a Premier League thing, Liverpool are a massive part of
Well,
that.
think about the year
3
when we beat
finals.
City in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Absolutely.
You never know. They could have got their Champions League that year if we never beat them.
Exactly.
The
If we had-
coefficient, we've been holding that coefficient down for a long time.
Does anyone want to help?
Any rival
Like
fan,
right to the end though.
if we were
Not like
asked
their March drop
any rival fan, would you like the last 10 years that we've had, or the last 9
They would
years?
die for it,
They would
bro.
die. Even with 1 Premier League, you would die for it. 'cause
I-
you wouldn't
I
have
hate
anything
hate
else.
this,
People
right?
say
Because me
just
and
one
you
Premier
kind
League.
of came to this this way of thinking and a feeling the other night when we said, do you know what? Instead of being so upset that he's leaving,
Yeah.
I can sit here right now
Yeah.
as just turned 30, as a 30-year-old man, happy in the fact that I have seen this man, again, our God, whoever you want to call it, win us everything. Whilst I can drink, whilst I can have a good time, whilst I can travel the world and go and see it in the flesh, he has given us every single thing we could have dreamed of in every competition. So it's one of them. Don't be sad it's over. Be happy it happened.
That's the point. Football is about sharing the experience together, right? And it's about having golden moments that you treasure for the rest of your life. And Jurgen Klopp led us to football paradise, lad. That's where we've been in the last 9 years.
Couldn't get higher
Not
than
at
where
all,
we were.
lad. And we've been able to enjoy it, and we'll never be able to forget it. And he's give all of us memories with your loved ones, your friends, your family that you'll never ever forget, and you'll treasure to your deathbed, lad. And that's why we love Jurgen Klopp, and that's why we call him Messiah, lad, because he led us to paradise. He really did, and we'll eternally miss him, lad. But also, things will never be the same. And that's fine, right? Because it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a bad thing. We can move on.
Yeah.
We are Liverpool. We existed before Klopp, and we'll exist without him.
That's
but
right.
forevermore, I will always have them moments in my 20s
No one
that
can take
no
them
one will
away.
ever take away.
Love that.
You can't say, there's a lot of people that can't say they watch the team lift every single trophy in their 20s while they're healthy, happy, and young, lad. We got that. All of us got that. That's beautiful. We got it.
That's it, lad.
And this is why we allow him to do whatever he wants, lad, because he gives us them moments. And Jurgen, lad, you will always be our man. You'll always be a red lad. We love you. Simple as that. Go and do whatever you need to do, mate. That's it.
Now let's get into the future, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a couple names around the table. Obviously, ones are being spoken about a little bit more than others. Straight away off the bat, Xabi Alonso, the legendary Liverpool midfielder from 2005 to 9, won the Champions League, came really close with the Premier League, but is a man who openly has said in the past, Liverpool is his second home. More so than a Madrid, more so than a Bayern Munich. This man completed it all
What was
as
his
a
first?
club player.
Where he
Real
came
Sociedad.
from.
Yeah.
Real
Real
Sociedad.
the Basque country, probably. So he's obviously one name in the mix now, very hot at the minute, but the facts are the facts. He's managed around 65 games as a manager. He is currently top of the Bundesliga, far and away of the team that's won it for the last 10 years. He's unbeaten in the season.
Mad.
So he's a name. Pep Linders is another name. Who knows Jurgen Klopp and the squad better than him? There's obviously, and again, I'm not saying these are my names in the ring, but the Zerbi's been mentioned. We've seen Nagelsmann maybe be mentioned as well. We've even seen Big Ange.
Absolutely.
Don't question my integrity, man.
That would be the most Spursy
Thomas
thing ever, by
Tuchel.
the way. They get the best managers they've had in years, and then he goes, "By the way,
So
I'm going to Liverpool, man."
So this is what I'm going to do, James. I'm going to go around the table. I want a yes or a no.
Yeah.
And then we'll dissect the ones that we lean towards, all right? Xabi Alonso, yes or no?
Yeah.
It's ludicrous, but yeah. But we're all tits for thinking that. We are. He's managed 64 games.
It's
not
James-
enough.
James
It's
is
not
confident.
enough.
It is. No, it is.
And
No,
it's better the devil you know. We love him already.
But we see the clips of Xabi Alonso going, I wish that you do a better Spanish accent than me, but it's just
Yes,
like...
a fantastic club.
I
know
wish
the
I won the Premier League with them,
Liverpool.
I wish I won the Premier League. So, he says it constantly in interviews. It's like, if there was one thing I could have done, even though I won the Champions League in that amazing
Would be
city,
the Prem.
it would be to win the
Gerrard
Prem.
and that.
Just, what was it for? The same what our players didn't get, to experience that Premier League lift with
In
the
Anfield,
fans.
in
With the
Anfield,
fan.
yeah.
And you see these clips, and you see like even those clips of Xabi Alonso filming himself before a Legends game, and he's like, Anfield, I'm returning. And like you see these clips now, and you're just like, the story, because we are an emotional club.
Massively.
You get the atmosphere off of emotion.
Yeah.
Gerrard has not got the credentials to bring.
I get away from the job.
club.
I love you as a football player. Like
There we
best
go.
footballer that's
There we go.
probably play for the club, but get away from the job.
Xabi Alonso seems to have the minerals based on the managers who's coached him, the things in which he's achieved in his short career so
Ancelotti,
far.
Rafa,
There we
Del
go.
Bosque.
He's also a
He
cool
played for them
character.
all.
He's also a very cool character, lad, and that's what
Yeah.
you need coming after Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
You need somebody that goes, right, I am in no way going to overshadow what Jurgen's just done here, but I am going to carry on his good work to the best of my abilities,
Yeah.
and I'm going to put my own fingerprints on it because that's my job to do so. But I think he's cool enough of a character to not let that overshadow him.
Yeah.
And somebody like De Zerbi, for me, is not the right personality for Liverpool. He comes in and he goes, right, Jurgen's done now, lad. This is
Yeah.
my club, and I can just see that type of mentality for him. So it's not the type
Yeah.
of person I want. Yeah, yes, it's ludicrous to say someone with 65 games, we're going to put him in charge of the mighty Liverpool, but also we need a recovery time, lad, and that's what he's going to offer us. He really
Yeah.
will. And
He'll
he's
get the time
professional.
as well.
Has he
Xabi.
got the charisma, guys?
Bro, he's the best looking man I've ever seen in my life. What are you talking about?
No, but personality and
Benitez?
charisma is what makes Liverpool who we are, right?
Yeah.
And it was why there were people like Hodgson that didn't really work at
Yeah.
Liverpool. And Rafa, as much as we love him, it was annoying that he was so cold.
It was a hot and cold
Yeah,
relationship.
do you know what I mean? Like, and that's why you look at Dalglish. To be fair, I think Brendan had that kind of charisma. Like, we look at it bad. Now, at the time, it was a good ride.
Yeah, 'cause he's off his
Do you know
head.
what I mean?
It was
Like,
off
do
his
you know what I
head,
mean?
Brendan,
At the
that's why,
time,
lad. Brendan was off
I
his head.
enjoyed it at the time.
I wouldn't say a good ride, to be
Hindsight is easy.
It was progressive
We remember
until
the
the last
14-15 season and it got all toxic. But 12-13, 13-14, I thought was brilliant under Brendan. Like, I enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? I remember it. Like,
When you talk about the charisma, again, I'll ask, go around the table. Someone that we are speaking about with charisma is De Zerbi,
Yeah, it
whether
is.
you like it or not. Yes or no?
Yes for his football, no for his personality.
no, for both. I don't like
It's just a no for both for me.
I don't think
I think
he's
he's
good
going to end up at a Chelsea or a United, to be fair.
Football-wise, stylistically, he suits us more
Yeah,
in the short term.
I agree.
But in terms of a manager, it's not something
I agree.
like
No,
that.
but
Don't want
James
him.
does he?
I don't like
When
him.
you
He
see
does.
when
He's
you're
footballing.
Brighton manager, when you're
Yeah.
Newcastle manager, when you're
Let me say
Tottenham
this.
manager, you can get away with that.
I feel
I
you.
won't change the
I
tactics
feel
and
you.
I'll lose and everyone will be proud of me.
I feel
Not
you.
here.
No.
No,
But
you
here's the
can't
thing.
do that here. We
Yeah.
can't get
But-
beat 4-0
but
at Man United
there's-
and then we
there's-
talk about, well, I stuck to my principles.
There's,
We'll turn into Man United.
There's-
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not having any of that
there's a
crap.
smoother transition, footballing-wise, between the style that we play now and if De Zerbi came in than what there would be what we play now and if Xabi Alonso came in.
Yeah.
There's just there's a more similar stylistic play between De Zerbi and Klopp.
I
Not
would
the same,
disagree.
I agree.
but it's
yeah.
more
I would
similar
disagree.
than Xabi
Alonso plays
is.
with
Gegenpress.
right wing backs and that, lad, and he plays with that press at the top. So do think you are right. De Zerbi has already played in the Premier League,
then it's
I
only a
don't
small
think
sample
the drop
size.
off is that much for us to say Xabi Alonso is going to play completely different football to Jurgen. It's going to be attacking because he's scoring loads of goals in the Bundesliga and he does play with them wing backs. And that's what I mean about Trent when I was talking about him earlier. Who knows where he's going to play next year if he's got another manager, lad? Who knows? But yeah, I don't like De Zerbi either, lad. I just don't. He's a good manager. I do.
He's
It
not
just
good
doesn't
enough
fit
to be
us.
Liverpool manager. He just
But
isn't.
then,
can
nobody
you not
use
Yeah.
that logic on Alonso and say
You
the same
can, but
thing?
as I said, it could be cold.
But there's hope there for
Yeah,
Alonso.
it
And
could,
there's a
but we love him
we feel a
already.
comfort with him,
Do you
right?
know what I
I hear
mean?
that, I hear
He's
that.
already one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
we
feel
love
a
him
comfort.
already. Do
There's
you
a
know what I mean?
comfort.
Better the devil you know.
Yeah.
I don't want it. And the Dole makes a great point. I think De Zerbi, like, I'm not even throwing shade here, but it is what it is. People like Arteta and De Zerbi, they throw their weight around like they've done something in this game. Postecoglou can throw his weight around more than De Zerbi, but he don't. He's humble with it. Why does De Zerbi walk around like he's so great? I know you got to have confidence, but it's arrogance with
But
him, in
didn't
my
Jose
opinion.
Mourinho do that? But he backed it up.
Yeah,
I
he did
guess.
with trophies.
And I don't think his arrogance kicked in till he actually won the Champions League.
With Porto.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that was, but he was allowed to at that point. If
Yeah,
you win
yeah,
the
yeah,
Champions
yeah.
League, you can walk around like you're the
With your
guy.
chest out.
De Zerbi and Arteta, they walk around like they're these guys, and I'm like, what have you done? You haven't done anything to walk around with all this chest. Do you know what I mean? Put it away.
I've just had nightmares, yeah. I've just had nightmares of this speech that we've all just had now. And then in 6 months going, De Zerbi has signed for Liverpool.
No, I'll be,
When
you
I
know
just
what?
sit there like, oh,
you,
oh.
you can rerun it at the time. If we do get him, Dole, I swear to you, I won't change my opinion.
Yeah, like,
he might be able
unless
to.
he makes us.
He
Yeah,
might
yeah,
be
yeah.
able to
Yeah.
reel me in.
Yeah.
But I do not
See,
want De Zerbi, and
me
I'm not
even
happy with that
thinking,
appointment.
and this is where my head's at, me even thinking of another person, like I've mentioned Nagelsmann, I've mentioned De Zerbi, I mean, Stevie G, will mention him in a little bit, but all these other names, and I can't even imagine someone that isn't Xabi
I
Alonso
think-
taking
Yeah,
that job.
not at
But
all.
you know what?
With
Can't
the
do
Liverpool
it.
lads on their
there's
chest,
Liverpool
lads.
fans- I think there's Liverpool fans watching this programme right now, and they're going, how dare we, Liverpool Football Club, not be talking about the best in class? How dare we not even try and bring up conversations about, I don't know, like Zinedine Zidane, which I think is ridiculous.
Hasn't managed
he's
to
not
push
going
like
anywhere
this.
near
Like,
us, lads.
but,
And he's not
a
e-
manager with pedigree, because we've all just established
Who then?
the managers that we've just listed aren't ones.
There aren't any.
But
James.
the point
This
is,
with
the
charisma.
problem.
the point is, right?
There's
Whoever
no
we
one
get,
replace
it
Klopp.
doesn't, it
It's
doesn't matter
impossible.
who Liverpool choose. It's always a downgrade. Jurgen
Yeah.
Klopp is a special man and a special manager, and we will never
Yeah.
replace him. So it has
I
to be
agree.
somebody that comforts us,
Yeah.
plays good football, and has helped us transition. And I just
Yeah.
feel like Xabi Alonso is that man. I've seen him with the Liverpool badge on him. I know I can trust him. I know he's a little Spanish scouser lad. That's what I want on my team. I want him to run a team.
still
and now
got a
he's
league title to
successful.
win with us
I
as
know,
well, do you?
and I know exactly. He's got a
Unfinished
vendetta against.
business.
He's got a vendetta that he wants to make better as well.
Yeah.
And now he's doing well in the Bundesliga. This just seems like it's the right move. Gerrard must be looking now going, I can't believe this is happening, but this is the right moves. He's made the right ones, lad.
He
He's made
could
the
be
right calls.
relieved, you know.
He might be.
There might be a part of Gerrard that's thinking, this pressure is something I
Yeah.
probably don't actually
Yeah,
want.
yeah, on need.
You know what I mean?
I've been
And
here
I don't want
before.
him to ruin his legacy. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know how we have a tiny little bit of a scar on Dalglish? Not enough for it to be a big deal, but
No,
when he
no,
came
yeah.
back,
Little
it
bit.
was tight.
Little
Like,
bit.
do you know what I mean?
As
Like,
in you go, you're not managing again, mate.
yeah, and if you asked him, he would have probably been like, yeah, he probably shouldn't have done that. We needed him
But listen, when
to
the
stabilise us,
duty
but-
calls, who are
So-
you to
so
turn
bad.
down Liverpool?
The servants of Liverpool.
Who
That's
are
the
you
point.
to turn
So is
to
the
say
route-
no?
The people
So
who
is
get
the
it,
route,
though.
would you even do like Steven Gerrard above De Zerbi?
No.
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 Would you not?
No,
And the
no,
reason
So
being
that
is-
just takes away everything.
I
you
understand.
just
I
said.
No,
understand.
because you can't
I
ruin
understand
it.
what you're
You
saying.
can't ruin
but
it.
it's
No,
not
but-
just on the football. Like Gerrard won't make me feel comforted, lad, because I've seen his managerial style and it's not good enough. He doesn't have enough tricks in his books to pull out, and I don't think Xabi Alonso
you-
has proved that he's got enough tricks
But
in
if
his
you
books
watch
yet
them at
either.
Rangers,
Yeah,
where,
but
by the way,
it's in
he went
Scotland.
undefeated. I
It's in
get you.
Scotland.
But again, let's look at context. You could say the same about Germany. You could say Germany's this.
No, you couldn't,
It's
though,
not.
because-
It's not Scotland. But hear me out. He went to a league where Celtic had won like 9 in a row.
know.
He then took the league title,
Stopped the
done it
10th.
undefeated. So I'm not trying to advocate for Gerrard. I'm just going off your premise, which is emotional manager is better than someone like De Zerbi. Would Steven Gerrard do better for us than De Zerbi would
No.
then?
But no, that's not what
I
that's
think
not
it
what
would
I'm
mean
saying.
too much to
That's
him.
not
I
exactly.
think it would mean
You're
too
taking the
much to
context
him.
wrong. What I'm saying is the emotional that you'll get comfort from Xabi Alonso is much superior than the comfort that you'll get
No,
from
that's-
Gerrard.
that's true,
That's
yeah.
what I'm aiming at. The football side of it, we don't know what's going to happen because we're either taking an inexperienced manager in Xabi Alonso or an inexperienced manager in Gerrard or a very experienced one in De Zerbi, but without the personality that will comfort us and make it feel at ease after Jurgen Klopp in the
Fair
transition. Does that make sense?
Fair dues.
So Xabi Alonso fits both of them. Good tactical now so far that we've seen. And he's going to make me feel like this is the right move. I feel like I know you, I've seen you, what he said. You're my brother already, lad. Spanish Scout, get in here, lad. That's
Get him.
So let me just rattle through the last two names then. Nagelsmann, is it a no from round the table?
yes for me. I like him.
You would
No,
have him.
His personality, he's a character lad, he definitely is. And we're talking about emotional managers, there is one. We're talking about somebody that knows tactics in football. The man is one of the most experimental guys I've ever seen, and he does good stuff with his football teams. They play Havertz at left back, which was a bit mad. But still, he scored a goal that game. So I like him. I think he's a good successor to somebody like Jürgen. He's got the same type of energy. He is a leader, lad, believe me. He shouts, he screams, he's in there with the team. I like him. I do.
Drift.
I think he's a good manager, but you lot might think I'm crazy for this, but I think authority comes with age, and
I get that.
I don't like the idea of somebody being almost the same age as some of our senior players.
Shabby is though.
I prefer
No,
Hansi
but
Flick above
again, it's the
Nagelsmann.
devil you know with Xabi. You know what I mean?
can hear that,
That's
Chelsea.
always
Yeah.
the copium for everything. And plus, no, the thing is, Xabi Alonso is 42. Nagelsmann's 36 years old. He's only 3 years older than some of our senior players. I'm like, can you
I hear that.
really
It's a good
listen to
point.
somebody that's almost your age shouting at you? You'd be
Brilliant.
like, shut up.
That's a really
With a
good
young
point.
squad, it's very possible because we've
Yeah,
got a younger
if
squad
it
now.
was all of the Bradleys and the Joneses
Yeah.
and all of that stuff, yeah? And the thing is, we got a lot of good senior pros, so I don't think they would be like that. But there's got to be a party of your Mo Salah going, what? What have you, you know what I mean?
understand
Like,
that,
what have
I do.
you done? Like,
It's like
I'm not taking
we
Nagelsmann.
interviewed
So no.
we interviewed Ian Rush. Yeah, we've done a few other things with other players and stuff. But when we did Ian Rush, lad, I literally lost my shit because it was just old fella in front of me that is the grandfather of Liverpool, the highest goal scorer ever. And I was like, why can't I speak to him? Like, it was mad. And I do agree
And
that's
that's
a
the
point that
opposite.
I've never thought of. That's spot on that. Never thought of that.
We'll get through these. Ange.
No.
No.
no. I would like him. I know he would be endearing
a
to
good
us
ride.
and we'd love
Are
him.
we Spurs?
But again, no, do you know, I think he's better than Spurs. I just don't want the De Zerbi scenario. You're sticking to your principles. We get battered 4-0 at Old
Yeah, that
Trafford, and you're
doesn't
like,
rub for us.
I just stuck to my principles.
That doesn't work.
Win the game, lad.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
work.
Klopp's
That
done
doesn't
that.
work at Liverpool.
Here's a curveball. Thomas Frank.
Personality-wise, he suits, but
Yeah.
you've got to look at resume a bit, and
Yeah,
you've just got to say...
he's got everything but the resume. Love the guy. Perfect replacement for Klopp. Wouldn't even really notice the difference with the charisma and the personality and the energy. He just hasn't been at the top, anywhere near the top.
But everybody's the same. Everybody
Yeah,
that we're
I know.
going to hire
I know.
has not been
I
at
know.
the top. That's what he's saying. We're not
know.
getting prestigious managers.
Why
Do you know why?
isn't-
Because we had the best one in the world.
Why isn't Hansi Flick being talked about?
I agree. That is a good shout.
Well, listen, I
And
was at the
XP.
World Cup. They were asking for him to be sacked and for
But
Klopp to come in.
that's country football.
Yeah, it's
If you see what he did with Bayern Munich,
He did a madness with
It
Munich,
was
he did.
perfect. 7 trophies in a year.
Can-
I'm just saying, like, if you do want to go with the approach of a dominant, successful, already established, with a bit of personality
German.
as well, and a German.
Yeah.
Don't
Can
mind
I-
my
can I-
Italy, don't become a German.
I'm going to throw something out there. I don't know if you lot are going to agree with me on this, but because I was thinking about this about 2 years ago randomly for some reason, don't know why. And he's fallen off a little bit now, but Mancini.
No.
No, hear me out.
Man
City, bro.
If you go and look at what Mancini's achieved in his career, he has always
Won the
done
Euros.
what he wasn't supposed to do.
Definitely.
Always.
Definitely.
I know the style
From
of
that
football
sense,
will be
fair, but-
totally different, but
Yeah.
if you're talking about trying to get someone in who may have to be transitional rather than permanent, I wouldn't look past Mancini, you know. The guy has achieved, in Italy he's won the league, in England he's won the league, with Italy he's won the Euros. Like, don't sleep on Mancini.
I
I
agree.
think he's a brilliant manager.
He's already tainted though
It's a
by being in
curveball.
City, lad. He's tainted.
Yes,
no,
definitely.
thank
so,
you.
right, at home, let us know in the comments who you'd like to be the next Liverpool manager. I'm going to go around the table one last time and get a name right off the tongue.
Xabi Alonso / Hansi Flick. I like it.
Xabi Alonso.
Alonso.
Para
is.
mí es Xabi Alonso. Vamos.
Bayern Munich won it, by the way, which
Right,
I'm scared of.
Again, let us know if you agree or disagree in the comments with that one. This is the conclusion we kind of come to. It's going to get a bit sad now, boys. From all of you, I'd like your favourite Jurgen Klopp memory now. There's so many to choose from. I'll start by saying, for me personally, my outstanding memory of Klopp when I look back in 10, 20, 30 years will be nothing that he did on the pitch. And that is probably the biggest compliment I can pay him.
So funny because mine's the same.
Everyone's is the same.
Everyone's
bro.
the same
It's
because
culture.
he gets it, right? And he has the freedom of the city of Liverpool. I mean, they say adopted Scousers. They call me that. But he is an actual one. I mean, my mum was born in Scotty. So it is what it is.
So he always drops that in constantly, lad.
However-
Scotty, lad.
To say that, it means more than just what you'd see one PL in 9 years. What the rival fans are throwing at us. To me, it's how he's embraced the culture, how he's got behind the families of the Hillsborough tragedy. And there's been so many big anniversaries of that tragedy whilst he's been at the club. It's what he's done off the pitch in terms of his interactions with fans, how he is with people. We've seen an incredible recent video of Dare, the young Irish fan
That was
who actually
amazing.
doesn't have any arms.
That was so
And
good, man.
you know, I watched that and thought, this goes deeper than football. And I've never in my life, and please, in the comments, you boys around this table, try and tell me in a time in the sport of football where a manager, the stars have aligned, and a manager has gone into a club from a certain city like Liverpool, and it's been that good of a match personality-wise. I can't tell you another one.
In our lifetime,
Yeah,
probably
I
no
don't
one.
think
You
so.
could probably say, like I said it outside before.
They're like the Bill Shankly.
The closest thing that this is to Bill Shankly.
Yeah.
If you look at the interviews of Liverpool fans who reacted to this Klopp news outside Anfield straight away, it's basically the
Shankly
mirrored,
news,
coloured
yeah.
version of what the Shankly interviews was like.
I think
back in the
Dalglish is
day.
quite close.
Dalglish for sure.
Especially if you're talking about the relationship. Dalglish
Especially
went to
the
all
first
the
thing, yeah.
funerals.
But he started as a
Like,
player.
he-
saying as a manager. 'Cause
Oh,
obviously
just-
Dalglish
okay,
was
yeah,
a manager
yeah,
later
yeah,
on,
yeah.
but as a manager,
Yeah, in our
when he came
lifetime, it hasn't
and don't
happened.
forget, he's been at Mainz and Dortmund, both where they've had "You Never Walk Alone" as songs.
Do you know what's mad about it?
So
for
he
me?
must feel at home. You saw him
actually mad,
tearing
that,
up
yeah.
the other
Yeah,
day.
Boss.
the stars of the
And,
line.
and also,
is
each,
crazy.
each
Stars of the
story
line.
of his managerial career was a fight, lad. It was a dog fight to get over the line. For
Always
me,
the underdog as well.
It's true, lad. He's brought a massive culture and energy to the city, as well as personally, lad. You know, when I see my team winning, I adore my football club so much in my city where I grew up and I'm raised, lad. I love it so much, and we've always finished second or not quite got where we should be and not win the Premier League. And it did seep into my own mentality, lad. It sometimes makes you feel like you're not good enough to get things because I'm a Scouser, lad, and I can't do this. That man made me believe that I can pretty much do anything I set my mind to. Do you know why? Because I've seen him go to a Champions League final and lose and then go back and win again. Yeah. He changed the mentality of so many Scousers and changed their lives as a result of the football club's results. It's actually unfathomable the effect he's had on the people of Liverpool, lad. It's insane. Even the Everton fans, as much as they probably hate him, yeah, they probably liked a lot of this different stuff that he did in Liverpool, mate. The kid will never be forgotten for the things he's done for the city, lad.
But I like that about Klopp.
unparalleled.
Like you always got a reaction out of someone, Liverpool fan, non-Liverpool fan. Like you either loved him or you couldn't stand him. It was either or. And
But
it
if
was
you
just
couldn't
like,
stand him,
because he's
jealous.
very
There we go.
authentically who
There
he
we
is.
go.
He's a very
you could
authentic
hate him
person.
because you're jealous,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. But it's just like he always gave that reaction. And the thing is, like we speak about the fans who say one league title and stuff like that, but these fans are built off of different principle to us. You know, maybe people are just mainly attracted by shiny things and trophies. We got every single one of those trophies.
By the way.
But even take that away, you know, and I don't know if you were leading into like going around and asking us our favourite
we're going to get
moments.
into that now.
Shall I
Go
just
for it.
transition into that? With hindsight, this moment meant so much to me. And the main thing I spoke about when he first left was what he made the fans feel and how he made us believe again. And he came in and he said, turn from doubters to believers. And without trying to make rivals vomit in the mouths, it was an unbelievable precedent to come in and just not just say words for word's sake. You saw every single word with every single tone combined together meant something. And to see him what he has achieved beyond those words of doubter to believer, if all I can ask is just for your faith. We gave that to him and he repaid us millions back. Like the exchange there was unbelievable. Our faith for what he's gave us was unbelievable. And that to me, like I always go back to that interview and you see it now, like you see on your phone when you're going through reels, like Klopp moments and Klopp quotes.
With sad music in the background,
but those quotes, like even just in one-off interviews where he's just like, just give yourself the best possible chance in life. Do you know what I mean? Just give yourself the best
His
possible
view
chance.
on life in general
He's
and
a-
society
he's a man.
is so similar to
Philosophically,
Liverpool.
he's actually
Scousers.
very intelligent.
He's a very intentional man, lad. He's intentional and he promised and he kept his promises to us, lad. And that's why we're forever grateful for him because we were promised a lot before by a lot of other people, lad. And he's the only man that delivered for us. Changed our lives, lad, genuinely.
So that's your favourite moment. Me personally,
You know what I mean? The
if
press conference,
yeah,
don't you?
100%, one of his first ones. I'll go with an on-pitch one. It was that 6 minutes after we won the Champions League, and the camera follows him.
Yeah.
That 6
Makes you
minutes.
wanna cry,
That's
No,
my
that's
my
crazy.
moment there.
That's crazy. You might
Because
be
it's
right,
just
mate.
everything has happened. I mean, we won the league the year after, but in Europe especially,
That was sick.
after all the
part when he
pain,
met Hendo.
yeah.
Mhm.
The-
And he
the
starts
bit when
crying, the hug.
Yeah.
His
And then
glasses,
he
they're all
grabbed Hendo
foggy.
like
He
that
takes
after
the
the
glasses
basking.
off. It's,
And then Ali comes
look,
over.
I'm getting goosebumps now.
That's
No,
the
just
point,
thinking
lad.
about
That's
that
crazy.
moment.
You,
bro.
you know what?
That's my moment.
Yeah, you might be right, you know, bro. There's too many though.
That is
There's
unbelievable.
There's
Too
too. Like, I'm
many.
even
Come on,
thinking-
what manager have you ever saw leg it onto the pitch
Yeah,
with
and
Alisson?
But even like you're saying off the pitch, like when they sat down with him and they replayed the cup final and then they they filmed him watching it
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
and then he was talking about it after we beat Barcelona. When he looked at he's like, kids are in bed right now, yeah, these guys are fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like,
Montelity,
there's so many moments that he has. You might be right with the 6 minutes after we won it. You might be right, but I can't put my finger on just one. There's just too many. Every single Klopp moment.
There's dozens.
Every single
dozens.
interview. Even when he battered up that guy the other day when he tried to make the joke about the 12:30
Yeah,
kickoff.
yeah.
And he was like,
It
every single
The
thing
last
he
press
does.
conference after they beat us.
Everything
Every
he
single
does.
time he
It's-
defends us and protect our name in every way that he possibly could, lad. And it was because he's in a very emotional man. It's like what we said, he's authentic. And that's why that 6 minutes after that was the pinnacle, lad. It was what I said. It's them memories that you'll never forget. They're treasured, lad. It's not just about football, lad. That's about life. That's beautiful. You'll never forget it. You got to spend it with your mates and watch it. Wonderful things that you can never experience any other way.
And
How'd you feel feelings like that?
I
lad?
never thought we'd win the Premier League, though. Like, I genuinely never thought we'd win the Premier League, and he did it. And I don't care when people say only one. Only what? Only what? Only one? All right, mate. Yeah, only one.
You wish you had Jurgen Klopp,
I won the lottery only
Then-
once.
What won't be included?
It's a great shout.
But
It's a
like,
great
by the
shout,
way,
that.
the Alisson Everton moment has got to be
Bossed
given.
that, innit, lads?
Oh.
When he legged it on the
I
pitch.
think it was
Or
like,
the
I'm sorry,
Alice
Mount
and West
Taylor
Brom
went
moment. The Alice and West Brom moment.
Yeah.
I know.
That
Now we're
hug.
going into Alisson moments. You know what I mean? But just to even add on there, like, one league title, fine. I'm not trying to be a
Could be
points
two,
tally.
by
Maybe
the way.
two by the end of the season.
I'm not trying
And
to
if
be
it
a-
wasn't for cheats, we'd have at least
I'm
four.
not trying to be a
probably.
points tally merchant, but, you know,
150.
Jurgen Klopp has got 3 points tallies higher than Sir Alex Ferguson's
Entire.
highest
Ever.
Same with Arsene
Arsenal.
Wenger.
Yeah.
He's got 2 more points tallies higher than Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
You're talking about the greats of all time. When you're talking about game for game, you're thinking about one of the best winners, literally the second best winner of all time.
He's
in
a
the
pound
Prem
for
behind
pound best
Pep.
manager ever, in my opinion.
I agree.
See, I agree with that. I honestly.
Let me ask you this.
He can do everything that other managers do, but they can't do everything that he
Yeah.
does.
That's
and
how
the
you
difference.
explain it
Facts.
properly. That's literally how it is. Greatest managers of all time, and I think, and I hope you both agree with me, in no particular order: Shankly, Paisley, Klopp.
Yeah. 1 to 3.
You lot might disagree with me slightly. What?
No, I said in no order.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I thought you
Definitely
was
for
doing
those.
it.
I'm all
without
right
a
with
doubt,
doing
lads.
that order, though. I'm all right doing Shankly, Paisley, Klopp. 'cause
I'd
Nah.
flip it around and I'll put Paisley, Shankly, because I know Shankly was the one who started it all, but Paisley is the reason we are who we are. Well,
in terms of
Shankly
trophy
is,
volume,
but you know what I mean.
No, in
like,
terms of trophy volume,
Paisley,
yes.
like four Champions
Four.
Leagues.
But
I mean,
but yeah, if-
the cover, that's crazy.
But I get what you're saying. But let's say Xabi Alonso comes in and wins us 3 league titles,
Yeah.
2 champions.
Exactly.
It's still not Jurgen Klopp
Exactly.
because it's not the A to B process. It's
Yeah.
it's the
I
the
already
bounce
agree.
off.
Do you know what?
Do you see what I'm
he's
saying?
spot on,
Yeah,
lad,
you know
he's
what?
spot on.
I hate because you know, no matter what the next manager achieves, in the back of my mind, I'm always going to be like,
Klopp.
this is
Yeah,
off
Klopp.
the legs of
Exactly.
Jurgen Klopp. You're right.
Yeah.
And
You're
that's
right.
why the
You're
order
right.
actually is
You're
Shankly,
right.
Klopp, Paisley. That's the order that it should be. Shankly started Liverpool. Paisley kept us going, and then we had a die off, right? Yeah, we fell off again, lad. And Jurgen Klopp picked us up like Bill Shankly did, and went, "I believe in you. Watch what I do with your team, lad." And he took us to the Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, Super Cup, anything he wants. He won it all, lad. He started it all, and whoever wins after him is what you just said, off
Yeah.
the back of him, lad.
Yeah.
And it's much a harder job to get a club going than to keep a club going, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah. Considering what Dalglish went through as manager, it does feel a little disingenuous to keep him off the top 3 list. But I guess you
But
can.
he's the best player, so he can't have
yeah,
both.
yeah.
Hey,
Sorry,
but last thing before you ask what you're going to ask next, dead quick. Jurgen Klopp is even better because of the position he's left us in.
Yeah.
So everyone was worried for a second that we were going to be left with all these old players, weren't they? But that's not what's happened. It's the complete opposite. We've now got Kanate, Nunes, Diaz is a fine age, Trent, very good age.
Fine age.
Like, there's just so many players there. Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott. There's so many decent young players that
Even
the next
Conor
manager
Bradley.
comes in and he's got stuff to play about with the next manager. If Xabi Alonso does come in and he has a stylistic, tactical difference, he's now got the options, not just the starting 11, but beyond that, to work with it. And Jurgen Klopp's left
Lad.
the manager.
Yeah.
Sir Alex
Do you think
Ferguson
he's
can't
done
say
it
that.
on
One
purpose?
last thing. Sir
Yeah.
Alex Ferguson can't say when he left Man United, he left them in a great position. He left them with a
Can
very
anyone?
old squad.
Bag of wood, lads, yeah?
Even Arsene
He's done
Wenger
it on
when he
purpose.
left
Other than
Arsenal.
Zidane, I can't think of
Yeah.
anyone who left when it was
And
good.
this is my original point. How many times have we seen a manager leave a team on the incline, but knowing that he'll have to do that for the next person to come in? And let's not forget, he said he told the club in November. That tells me you were thinking about this in August, September.
Yeah.
And the absolute rebuild that he's done, which isn't even over yet. We've still got
Even
some of the
Szoboszlai,
best nights to
Gravenberch,
even come,
kids,
by the way.
And that's,
Babies,
that's the thing.
That's what he
hurt me.
What's
does. He's left us in the best way
That's what's
possible.
hurt me the most, no boys, because I know next season would have been the season we actually did really win it all.
Yeah.
He would have got 1 or 2 more players in the
thought that.
summer. and like it could. Have you not just got 18 months
That's
left?
exactly
That's
what we
what
want.
I
Just
thought.
eight,
Just
please.
until
Have
you're
you
58,
just not
lad.
got?
When you're 58.
Just see out your contract.
Please.
Not even
a selfish one.
Even just one more year, Alex. Just one more. You don't need to do the 2. Just one more.
yeah.
Just finish this
But
off.
also, if we do end the season winning the league and then winning another cup, isn't that a beautiful way to sign?
Oh,
up
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Don't
a-
tell me you're not sad that we're not going to see a
winning
Champions
Europa
League
League
game.
would actually complete
I know.
the set.
Don't tell me you're not sad that we're not going to see a Champions League game with Jurgen Klopp ever again. Just don't tell me. Like, that's just devastating.
But listen, we'll end it on a positive. We had Jurgen Klopp, guys.
How lucky are we?
That is the positive.
How
Round of
lucky
applause
are
for
we?
Jurgen Norbert Klopp.
I'm a Messiah, mate.
What's the saying? Shout out Spoonie, who obviously is a diehard
Big
Liverpool as
Liverpool
well,
fan,
my brother there. It's better to have loved and lost
And to
than
not
to
love
have
at
not
all.
loved at all.
That's it.
And we'll
lad.
leave it on that one. Boys,
Pound for
Boys.
pound, greatest.
Kumbaya, the film. Kumbaya.
listen, let us know in the comments, first of all, your outstanding memories of Jurgen Norbert Klopp. Also, let us know who you'd like to come in to replace him. And let us know how you think this season ends now for Liverpool with the news, as we've mentioned today. James, Drift, Doyle, we needed that.
Yeah, we did.
It was a
We
nice,
did.
safe space
Thank
for
you,
us
lads.
all to vent.
I'm
And hey,
proud of
listen,
you all because we didn't cry.
I'm proud of you guys as well.
I really thought
this
I
close.
really
I
thought
was
it was
there.
going to happen.
Doyle started getting his
Yeah, lads.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it, I was
Shit.
like, I was going to
Yeah.
cry myself.
Where's
lad.
the Kleenex, lads? But listen, it's an emotional one for us Liverpool fans, but maybe we do this again at the end of the season to really send them off. Who knows? But listen, thanks for watching. Go and subscribe to all the YouTube channels involved today. The Cop TV, James Redmond, Copish as well. Big Liverpool communities all over. Make sure you subscribe to DR Sports. And we'll see you soon.